Why'd you waste time this week?
Hold on, I'm eating a cookie.
Oh, okay. That's how you're wasting time right now.
Mm-hmm. I'm hiding my mic so you won't hear my chewing.
You're hiding your feelings?
I'm covering my... Well, yes, always. Especially when cookies are involved.
Hello, and welcome to the I Love You Bet podcast. I'm Heather, and this is my sister,
Rian. Each week, we will revisit relics of our childhoods using our multiple master's degrees
to critically evaluate the crap that consumed our misspent youth. So join us,
sisters, latchkey kids, cuspers, and lazy feminists as we look back at our past to say, I love you, but...
Would you like for me to talk about how I wasted time this week? So you can
go for it.
Okay, I don't have a lot because mostly it was move Eddie into his new assisted living place and spend way too much time with him. But one way was that last Sunday when he was here, but we hadn't moved him in yet, I was like, hey, Mom, Saturday Night Live Cold Open had your girl Maya Rudolph as Kamala. You want to? Yes. So everybody got a drink and we watched the cold open. And like, Mom could not, like, she got upset because I missed the part where Dana Carvey was on as Biden. I like went to the kitchen to do something and she was like, you need to get in here. You need to see this. And she like reenacted it for me.
Why didn't you video that? Why didn't you FaceTime me and go, you need to see this?
So I feel like I'm going to have to get the whole group together to go watch Saturday night. And then she told us 2 times over the course of a couple of hours that she would go to like the lounge in her dorm and watch Saturday Night Live every night, every Saturday, because nobody had TVs in their rooms. So yeah, it was real cute. So I was like, well, we'll go watch the chaos cocaine-fueled drama.
Speaking of, I don't know what came on, but like I was doing something on my phone and something came on that had like techno-y-ish music.
Yeah.
And Elliot was like, can we watch the Mother video? One very quick instance of watching it was once again watching the Maya Rudolph Mother's Day opening of SNL. Of saying,
good.
Your mother.
Hey, Maya, we really need you to put that out as a single, please. Thanks.
Yes. Well, then Elliot goes,
do we need to go fund me? I'll pay for it. Let's go.
And he said something about his cat, and he was like, you're his mother. And he goes, no, I'm his father.
Doesn't ring the same, baby.
Like,
hi, Daddy.
Yes. Instead of saying Skibbidy Toilet, which he did recently, could you just say slay the house down, boots, queen, or something? Like, I would much rather you say that random wordage bullshit than fucking Skibbidy Toilet, Ohio, Riz, whatever fucking shit you've got going on now.
So the only other way that I wasted time was that Radio Rental, one of the podcasts that I like, is back. And Rainn Wilson has this character, Terry Carnation, that he does for it, where he mostly acts with himself. But he finds ways to have like off-camera characters, off-mic characters, like his cat and other things. So it's cute. But the first season was amazing because they had people who had like time slips and like cool shit like that. And I will say every season since then has pretty much been a letdown because it's either been like, I almost got killed, but then I didn't. Or like this one where it was like, it started off and it's this guy and he's like, I used to travel for work a lot. And I was like, okay, cool. Tell me more. And then I really wanted to take my family on vacation for Europe. And so I saved up a bunch of money and we finally had enough money to go on a European vacation. And then I thought, wouldn't it be amazing if this weren't like a scary story at all, but he's just like straight edge telling you National Lampoon's European Vacation. Such a good prank. And then I was like, oh shit, what if it was actually Snakes on a Plane? Like somebody turned it into a scary story. Like it was so scary. And then in the end, it was all about how he like fainted And then he fainted again. And then there were other people fainting, and there were all these people vomiting. And like all the stewards and stewardesses were basically like, nothing's wrong. Everything's fine. Nothing's wrong. And then they land. He has to go immediately to the hospital. He starts researching the plane and the airline. And essentially, they've had like this specific airline, the air conditioning would go pass through like where the fuel was and come back into the cabin. So people were fainting and shit from like the fuel fumes, but the airline wouldn't admit it, and the airplane manufacturer wouldn't admit it. So in the end, it was a scary story, but it was a scary story about capitalism. So
was it a Boeing?
I don't know. He didn't say. They didn't get into all that shit.
Wow.
Yeah.
Good times.
This really took me on a topsy-turvy adventure here.
I know. I heard a story recently that also made me think of National Lampoon's European Vacation.
Oh, really?
Our good friends took their 2 children to Disney World because they hate themselves. I don't know. Like,
we love you, Coopers, but you're crazy.
I know. They had a good time. But Megan was saying that, on the way there, like, I guess she goes, so on this trip, I learned that Troy doesn't know how to drive in a really large parking garage.
Oh.
And I don't quite understand like what was going on with his parking garage, but basically like he just got stuck on the same level and he couldn't figure out how to like go to another level. So she's like, they just did like 3 loops.
He should have just waited until another car came by and then followed.
Well, I think that's pretty much what happened. Is like that's what I kind of said. Is like y'all just looped around until like a space came available on that level of the parking garage.
I should have sent Clara out to run in front of him. Like, we'll find the exit, Clara. We'll follow you. Come on, girl. Lead mommy and daddy out of here. Let's go.
And Megan was like, I just was not saying anything. Like, I didn't want to. But, and I don't think he was upset, how Troy is. He's just like, how do we get on I don't know. So there's like 3 layers. So it was very hard for me in my mind to like picture it, but it reminded me of that. It's like, yeah, it's like European Vacation when they get stuck in the roundabout at Big Ben. Go in a parking garage looking for a fucking parking space so that you could then get on a plane and go to Disney World. Yeah, that convinced me that, like, I don't want to go.
That's how they wasted time.
That is how they wasted time. Well, and it was also funny because while they were there, I was listening to my favorite podcast, We're Here to Help. And there was a guy who called in because he was stuck, like, got roped into going on this trip to Disney World with, like, his boss's family. So it was, like, 8 adults and 13 kids or something.
Oh,
yeah.
no.
And he was like, I'm absolutely dreading this. I need you all to help me, like, try to find a way to not be miserable. Like,
what?
Yeah. Like, how can I change my mindset? Like, everyone knows I don't want to go. Like, I don't want to be miserable and grumpy and and so they made a bingo game.
Okay.
So they were like, what are the worst things you think are going to happen? And so then you'd be on the lookout for like, travel problems, a ride breaks down, a kid has a meltdown, every single couple gets in a fight.
Yeah.
Like, or gets shitty with each other. Like, you pay a stupid amount of money for something at Disney.
Well, that's your free space.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Yeah, I know. So I told Megan about that. And she was like, yeah,
banana costs $4.
They got like,
here, have this healthy banana.
Troy told me they got like these like ice cream or like lemonade custard cups or whatever and a popsicle, and it was like $45. They're for 3 for 4. Yeah. Like ice cream truck treats.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm never going.
Yeah.
Never.
Do you kind of understand why I say if we do Dollywood, we should get the 2-day pass?
Yeah. And actually, I had a friend who I saw was there this weekend. And so I messaged her and she said her biggest piece of advice is that it's 1 day isn't enough. So you are correct that. And since we're staying closer, it makes even more sense to get the 2-day pass. I have no problem saying you're correct.
I'm laughing because the other night, Mom and Eddie were in the kitchen and we were talking about something, and Mom said blah blah blah. Heather said da da da, and she was right. But I didn't say. I just stood there. She goes, she's usually right. And I was like, it's really annoying, isn't it? And she was like, well,
Honestly, you being right isn't annoying to me as and you are better about this, but your past history of your inability to admit when you were wrong.
Yeah.
That would, again, you're gotten better about it. So, but there was that one year where I got a lot of lovely free gifts just showing up at my house before you could admit to being wrong or saying you were sorry.
That was my love language.
The TV in my bedroom, I still have it. Because I remember the Roku showed up before the TV, and I was living with Jacob, and I was like, "What the fuck is this?" And
I think I actually got you that because I thought maybe if you had TV, you'd stay home more and not go have drunk slut nights. I don't think it was an apology.
Did it?
We tried. Or it was because you were trying to watch everything on your laptop and you broke your laptop. Maybe that's what it was. And I was like, this is stupid. TVs don't cost that much. They cost less than laptops. What are you doing?
I don't remember that, but in my mind, it was a passive-aggressive apology or an unspoken apology.
It was a passive-aggressive apology. I don't even remember. So how else did you waste time this week, Hermana?
So many ways. I'll say one for next week because it can wait. The most recent way I wasted time was I got injured swimming.
Well, you weren't even swimming, right?
What?
You weren't even swimming, right?
Well, I did actually was because I'm a stubborn asshole, was like, can I still get in the pool? And they were like, after you stop bleeding, sure. So I was like, I'm here. I'm mad. I'm hot. I'm embarrassed. I want to cry. I'm still going to walk some laps very, very slowly. I think I walked 10 laps in 40 minutes or something.
You could have just gone and cried in the shower like a normal person.
And I couldn't. So let me back up. So I went to the pool yesterday. I texted Ben. I was like, "Hey, can you please try to be back at the house by 4 because the pool closes at 6. So, and that means I have to be out of it by 5:45. So I guess it closes at 5:45 because I'd really like to go do a swim workout because I'd gotten up early and did one on Friday. And so I just wanted to kind of keep the momentum going. And he's like, first of all, he responded and said, "I'll try," which was not the correct answer, but okay.
What?
But to his credit, then we went and did a whole bunch of stuff that we had completely unplanned. Yesterday was nothing but wasting time. We had planned, we went to dance class at 10 and they weren't having dance class because of fall break. And I just got the schedule wrong in my head. Yeah. And then we were supposed to meet up with friends after. So I was like, well, what am I going to do for an hour? So we went into a library that they just reopened because they renovated the whole thing, because then we went there and he wanted to look at all the things and play on the computer games. Then we had to push back the time in which we were going to meet our friends at the next thing. Mm-hmm. It was an ADHD day kind of day. So, yeah. Which is fine because then we got there at the exact same time as our friends. So luckily I tend to be friends with ADHD as well. So also they have 3 children. So, they have other things keeping them from being on time to places.
Yes.
But we had a lovely time at the children's garden, and then we decided to take all of these children to a restaurant, and that was a terrible plan.
That sounds bad.
But anyway, so I didn't get home until 3:45, and luckily Ben was already there. So, okay. Yay with his "I'll try." You did good. Well done. I guess that's better than me who's just yes, and then not doing it. So. But anyway, so I go to the pool and, I get there at 4:30. So I'm like, okay, this is, a good amount of time for me to, or 4:15 or whatever. And it was really crowded. So there was somebody in each of the 3 lap lanes because the pool I like is closed because they're cleaning it for this week. So I had to go to the other one that's smaller, and then there was a whole bunch of kids and parents in the open swim, which is pools are really not that crowded. I was kind of frustrated and thrown by that.
Was it because of the port strike? They heard the port strike wasn't going to happen, so they all went to the pool to celebrate.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was it. They all went to return all their shit that they'd bought from Costco.
I don't need these 16 cases of water.
Can I get my money back on these 20 cases of toilet paper I bought?
I need all these things that are made in America. Because I don't understand what a port is.
People are so fucking stupid. Anywho, but yeah, so I so there's like this kids or somebody was sitting on one part of the stairs, and instead of asking them to move, like I was like, I'll just slip it. And I'm not going to say they were the reason, but long story short, I slipped on my good leg slipped, and I fell, and like my bad knee, like completely bent backwards behind me and got the full brunt of my weight on it. It scraped the crap out of my knee on the little like non-slip part of the pool. Ha ha ha. And also like overextended my ankle and then started bleeding and like was not in any position to get up. So like insult to injury. So the lifeguard comes over and I hear, Miss Davis, are you okay? Because of course the lifeguard on duty is one of my current students. So I'm like
St. Peter, I'm not ready. Send me back. I gotta at least get my kid through high school.
It's just like in my head, I'm like, no, Becky. Her name's not Becky, but whatever. Like, no, I'm not fucking okay, you know? But I'm like, yeah, fine.
What would you have preferred that she said to you in that moment?
I know. It was just like, I know. I mean, that in the moment, I was like, yeah, I'm fine, you know? And like, there's all these people who are like, and then there was like this other woman and her kids that I know because they're also friends with the Coopers. I know. And, you know, it's like, hey, you know. And then she's like, and then
this is where you don't like how small Lexington is,
the poor
right?
student's like, could you move a little so you don't bleed in the water? And I was like, yeah. Like, could you maybe go, that towel over there is mine. If you grab it for me, I'll just put it on my bloody knee.
Let me staunch this for you.
Yeah. So then, like, you know, because it's towards the end of the day, she's like, oh, my manager, like, literally just walked out, like, right in front of you as you were right behind her. And all this stuff. And they bring the first aid kit. They have this giant first aid kit. And she's like, there's nothing in here big enough that's going to stick to you because you're wet and all this. And then, like, the other manager comes in and he brings me an ice pack in a snack-sized Ziploc bag that has a picture of Olaf dancing around on it.
I thought you were going to tell me it had like little pretzel crumbles in it or something. We're like, get these fucking pretzels out of here. We got to put some ice in here.
Like, here's a piece of ice in an Olaf snack bag. And then I was like, get up. And I'm like, going to sit. And then he's coming back and he's like, well, I'll sit with you. I'm like, I'm fine. Because I was like starting to cry. He's like, well, I have to because you're an incident now. So we have to fill out paperwork. Fuck. So, but then I was like, can I still get in the pool? He's like, yeah, if you want to. Like, you know, you're not gushing blood, so it's fine.
So Katie has her sign. Katie has her sign that says I'm a liability. And I wanted to get one. I think you need one now too. Yeah, so then I decided at midnight last night when I couldn't sleep because I was in excruciating pain despite taking very strong pain medications. Yeah.
I got online and made an appointment for 8 a.m. at the urgent treatment clinic when it opened and took myself there, which I'd already been considering going to because I also have an infection on my ankle. So so I left with a boot and some steroids, and I'm going to go to my orthopedic walk-in clinic tomorrow. So then I came home and took some pills and sent a lot of emails to people saying, I'm not going to be there tomorrow because of this. I can't do this because of this. Apparently I had like all the meetings set for tomorrow. So I had to like tell everybody like, I have a swimming injury. I got hurt swimming because I have Wiggins.
Stop calling it a swimming injury. You have a walking injury.
It's funnier to say I have a swimming injury. I got injured swimming.
I mean, how does that? Like, that's
I know, that's why it's funny. I have a walking injury. Well, that's worse. But what's really funny is like at one point during the day yesterday when we were at the park, I'm like talking to Laney, and I don't know, she talked about something like random. She's like, I just like one of my worst nightmares is, and my biggest fears is blah blah blah, and it was like I don't know, flying or something else. And I was like, mine's just falling down, like right now, walking around. Like that's my biggest fear is that if I'm upright, walking around of like falling.
Yeah.
So,
and I gotta tell you, my jokes land great over at the assisted living place. So I'm like, man, gravity is our enemy, and they're like, yeah.
Okay, Waka Waka.
They're killing it there. Also, there are a couple of ladies who are praying for you now, just so you know.
Oh, great. You told the old ladies that I fell?
Yeah.
Oh, lovely.
Well, it's like, we got to have something to talk about that's in common. Like, I mean, they're all octogenarians. We don't have a whole lot in common.
Let's all talk about our relatable injuries. Yeah. And good news, the antibiotic seems to be working really well after just one dose. So
that's very exciting.
Yeah, so I'm on steroids and I'm not going back to work tomorrow despite already having 9 days off. Woo woo.
Okay, you'll it's fine. Everything's on fire. It's hard to do.
Yes.
So, hey, a way we distracted ourselves from the pain of living a lot as a child. The Princess Bride, the second in our fairy tale series, with a quote related to pain that is one of the best of any movie of all time ever.
There are a lot of wonderful quotes in this movie.
Yes, it's highly quotable. What do you remember about The Princess Bride from 1987?
Let's see. I remembered a lot. I remember being just absolutely in love with Carrie Elways. I remember a lot. I didn't remember like the baseball video game that Fred Savage was playing. I don't know. I said I think I'm turning into the grandpa. Sorry, we're not on. I skipped the things we remembered, and he's like, in my day we didn't have things. We read books, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm turning into this grandpa.
We are the grandpa
with my students. I was like, oh.
Well, and I remember everything. I remember the actors. I remember quotes. I remember costumes. I remember the ROUSs. We watched this movie a lot. It was one of Dad's favorites for sure. One of the first screenwriting books that I ever read was William Goldman's On Screenwriting book, I think is what it's called. And I've read his the Princess Bride that this was based on. And now I would like to give you a short play from before I started watching the movie. I did watch this with Eddie and Mom.
Fun. I watched it with Elliot, partly.
So Mom says, "Oh, it has that pretty man." I said, "Carrie Elways?" No.
Hold on, wait a minute. Mom had never seen this before?
No, she was reminiscing, how we're what you remember? This is what Mom remembers. It has that pretty man. And I said, Carrie Elways.
Or was she talking about...
She says, no, he's Icky, the other one. I said, Mandy Patinkin?
Yes.
Yes, and he has a normal wife. I love him so much for that.
He has a normal wife?
Yeah.
What does that mean? She's fat?
I think she just looks like an average person.
Is she ugly? Is that Mom's way of saying?
Mandy Patinkin is not what? No.
I know, he's not some sex god, Mom. What are you?
He is to our mother, apparently. So,
Has she ever watched Criminal Minds? She would love it.
Yeah. Mom watches Criminal Minds.
He's in the first season or two. She'd love it. Mm-hmm. I knew it was Mandy Patinkin because she loves quote unquote. Well, she loves ethnic men, but he's just Jewish. He was just playing a Spaniard.
Good call, Ryan. They filmed it in England.
Yeah.
So I would like to put forth that The Princess Bride is a Christmas movie.
Shut the fuck up.
The whole reason he was there was because the kid was sick and it was Christmas and he brought him a present and the present was the book and he read him the book.
That does not meet my requirement for what becomes a Christmas movie.
I don't care. I'm telling you that I'm saying it's a Christmas movie.
Do you know what my rule is?
Yes, I know, and I don't care.
It's not because
it couldn't take place any other time. He had unless it was a birthday movie, but it wasn't his birthday. He brought him a Christmas present, The Christmas
Oh my God,
present
that's
was
like
the
not
book.
even the plot. Like, that's like so secondary to the plot. Like, this whole movie could exist without the grandpa and Fred Savage.
But it's better with Grandpa and Fred Savage, is it not? Columbo and Fred Savage there? I think it is, because it cuts out a lot of the romance of it. Like, it kind of like keeps bringing you back into reality in a way that I felt makes it a stronger movie overall. Like, it's kind of commenting on itself.
Okay, but like, you couldn't have just gone with like, hey, he's sick and his grandpa's coming to read him a story because he's sick.
Yeah, you could have.
Like, it doesn't have to be Christmas. Which, speaking of, that Santa on the wall, did you see that? That thing was fucking demented looking. It was like a demon Santa.
Yeah, rewatching things now that we can actually have high definition is a totally different experience.
I was like, what is that? That's fine.
Like, I don't know that I ever realized this movie took place at Christmas. I mean, probably because he was like, I just brought you this book. And then we couldn't even see that there was all this Christmas shit in the background. Like, it was just like, well, he's got a lot of red stuff in his room. Like, oh,
Which
no.
is another argument for why it's not a Christmas movie.
As a standard definition television in the 80s? That is not an argument.
Yes, that's when it was filmed and that's what it was intended. Like, if you didn't even know
they would have filmed it on film, and if you saw it in the theater, you wouldn't have been able to see it.
You know what? When you release the social media interaction, whatever, like the things that make people, what's that called? Engagement stuff, put a poll. Is The Princess Bride a Christmas movie? I want to see it. I want a poll.
I will be prepared for 2 people to vote, you and me, and we'll cancel each other out. It's going to be fantastic.
I will share the fuck out of that post.
I forgot what a lovely little bully Wallace Shawn is.
Which one is that? Is that the annoying guy? The bald guy?
Inconceivable. He never stops talking.
Oh my God, I hate that guy. Like, I have always hated that actor so much.
Well, Wallace Shawn is wonderful.
The only thing I like him in is when he played like the stepdad in Gossip Girl. Because he didn't ever scream.
You didn't enjoy him in My Dinner with Andre?
I never saw that. Did he play himself? Oh. Here's the things. I remember him from this, and I remember him from being on at least one, if not more, episodes of The Cosby Show. And, like, every time he does the same thing, because in The Cosby Show episode, he'd, like, bought a new car called, like, I'm serious. And, like, he just kept talking about how fast it goes. And so he'd be like, we're going to go down to the pier and get lobster. Go ahead and boil the water. And, you know, Bill Cosby's like, it only takes 5 minutes to boil water. And he's like, but will be. Like, just his yelling. Like, no. It's like him and Gilbert Gottfried. Like, they're in the same category of people that, like,
you need to watch more movies with Wallace Shawn to realize he has a great range as an actor that doesn't always involve.
I like him when he's being calm.
Okay.
But, like,
My Dinner with Andre is very calm. Do you not remember at the end of Waiting for Guffman when Chris Guest is like, these are my Dinner with Andre action figures? Like, the whole movie is literally 2 guys having dinner together, and that's all. Nothing happens. They just talk. That's the whole movie.
Is it Andre the Giant?
No.
Oh, well, if it was Andre the Giant, I would watch that.
We have to call him Andre Rene Rusinov.
Oh, okay. We can't call him.
Nope. Andre Rene Rusinov.
Why can we not? Was he didn't like it, or
well,
other
I will
people?
tell you that in IMDb, every single thing that they had him listed, it said Andre Rene Rusinov. Like,
well, that's like, I mean, that's his real name.
Yeah.
Can I just call him Andre?
Yes, that's it.
The big guy.
The eels in the water are second in fakeness only to the octopus at the end of Popeye.
I don't know. They were still pretty scary. Elliot was like not into it. He was like,
And then I would like to re-edit the dialogue between Carrie Owens and Mandy Patinkin when they're doing the chatty feud sword fight.
Yeah.
The chatty sword fight.
Yeah.
And put that out as softcore porn because it was super flirtatious. Like, very, very, very.
Let's see. Elliot, do you want an Elliot?
Yeah.
Hot take? He said, this is the point where they're on the boat. He goes, they're not circus people? And he said, and I said, no, they're not. And he goes, they're meanies that need to be sent to jail.
They're meanies that need to be sent to jail. Aw. I did pick up a lot more in this movie watching it with the captions on. So.
Okay.
I love
I
captions.
don't understand why he was trying to start a war between the two sides. Like, if we ever find that out.
We know why anybody ever wants to start a war.
I mean, like, usually when the war starts, it's because you're, like, on the side, you know. Or I guess I
don't think so.
There's always outside forces.
I think a lot of wars get started.
The short guy trying to stir shit up. Like trying to start a fight. Ben says he used to do that. He'd, like, go stir some shit up and then go hide behind his friends.
No, I feel like, war profiteering, right? That's probably why he wanted to start a war.
I guess, because he's a meanie that needs to go to jail.
That's right. I did like when he said, Mary always said, everyone will be wearing masks in the future. It's like,
they're very comfortable. Yeah.
I think all you masked fascist people need to rewatch this movie because I bet you think you like it. Recognize. There's some real bad 80s.
To say, so you have an assertion that this is a Christmas movie. I'm going to go out on a limb and say I feel like this is a universally loved movie.
No, its IMDb rating is not that high.
Really?
Yeah, hold on, let me pull it up.
Oh, well, never mind. Edit that part out.
It's 8, so I think it's the highest of anything. But like Forrest Gump.
Yeah.
Piece of shit movie.
Oh, when Elliot got bored with the movie, he started trying to teach me how to juggle popcorn.
Forrest Gump is 8.8.
Oh, okay.
What's that other one? What's the prison one all the boys like? The
Shawshank Redemption.
Oh, yeah, Shawshank. Let's look at that one. 9.3.
Mm-hmm. Star Wars was like 10,000 because
I refuse to do that search.
Would you be sad to know that he got bored and was teaching me to juggle popcorn during the fencing scene?
No. It's a 3-minute fencing scene. It's very long. Like, if they had it talked
with who wins.
Yeah. They start doing gymnastics during it. Like, it's a whole thing.
Oh, the popcorn thing went on. He goes, how do you know they aren't both bad guys?
Okay.
And then he took 2 handfuls of popcorn, and 1 handful was good and 1 handful was bad. And then he shoved the handful of bad guy popcorn into his mouth.
Like that.
And then when it went on to the next scene, he said, this time I think that, and this is his quote, the giant will win. And then he got into his night costume and started, like, trying to fight me. And then we turned the movie off.
Yeah, I can't imagine he would have liked a whole bunch after that point. But
well, we got all the way to where they were in the forest, and then we turned it off.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So the only thing I really, really didn't like was when Carrie always pretends to hit Buttercup, and I'm like, what? Why? You're mad. I guess you're mad that she's gonna marry the prince or whatever, but it's like, what are you doing? Like, yeah, that's not. I don't. But around that time is when he says life is pain. Anyone who says differently is selling something, which is just, it's so fucking true.
I don't know. Like, I don't know. Did he pretend to hit her, or was it like he was like wanted to hit her but stopped himself? Because frankly,
either way, no.
Hold on. I'm just saying. I love my child, who you once accused me of earlier today being obsessed with, but there are moments when I've had to stop myself from popping him in the face. Okay. Usually because he's bitten me. But if you think about what he went through,
Well,
to survive to get back to her.
Yeah, but
now, granted, he should have waited to hear the whole story.
And also, she didn't tell him to go away. Like, that was his choice.
Yeah, that's true. I was like, why does he need to go make money? Like, they can live on their little farm. Like, that was,
that's just dumb boy shit. I'm not a fan.
Yeah. No, I know. I'm just saying, like, I can understand that, like, guttural reaction to.
So then I had a question, because, like, if you watch The Battle of Wits, like, Robin Wright she's blindfolded and she's just sitting there and she never fucking moves. And I was like, does she think she's dead in this scene? Like, how is she so still? And I was really confused about that. And then they get into the forest of fire or whatever it's called. And the rodent is attacking Carrie Elways. And I'm like, whack it with a stick. Like, what are you doing? And that's like, she doesn't even do that.
Doesn't she?
When it starts to attack her, she attacks it. And then I was like, oh, maybe she's just really good at standing around. Like, maybe that's her thing. She's like, to do anything. I'm the pretty girl. I just stand here and I'm pretty.
We didn't get to there, but, like, I love that, like, and of course I'm like asking, like, she really can't tell it's him? He's not even wearing a whole face mask.
Yeah, I know.
And those lips, like, come on.
Yeah, and the smell and, like, the hair and the, like, yeah.
Yeah, get the fuck out of here. I mean, I know the mustache was a little creepy, but whatever.
Ew, that creepy little mustache.
I love it when they walked into the forest and he was like, not bad. The trees are quite lovely. And then when
optimistic.
I know. When they went in the sand hole or whatever, the sand pit or whatever. Yeah, the quicksand, Ellie was like, I think they're in a mole hole. Like, sure, in a mole hole.
He doesn't have to know about quicksand. They finally stopped it. Mom said that Lassie...
Terrified of quicksand. Oh.
Mom said that Lassie had quicksand, so it wasn't just our generation. Evidently, as long as there's been film and TV, quicksand has, until finally somebody was like, there's not that much quicksand. Quit it. Did you know that Christopher Guest is a baron? He's a part of the British. Yeah, he's a part of the British aristocracy.
Huh.
Yeah.
I didn't even know he's British.
Yeah, he's British.
He does so many accents. Like, how would I know that? I had the phrase,
licked my love pump, stuck in my head for days now. Just days of it where I'm like, Peter Cook was amazing and hilarious. Marriage.
Yes.
Love. I was thinking about, because I got that wedding coming up and I was like, oh, should I sneak that in?
Man and white. Say man and white. Yeah,
then I thought it would be
like kind of a tool. Like,
who?
Princess Buttercup.
Oh, yeah, no, she's totally useless. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is very much a movie about a bunch of cool guys and smart guys and funny guys, and Princess Buttercup is there.
Okay, so maybe instead of making your little softcore porn, what if you just edit her out?
You're pretty much the same. Just stick a Barbie in.
Stick Ryan Gosling from Ken as Ken in.
I mean, this movie definitely fails the Bechdel test. Like, 100%.
Yeah.
I thought Carrie Elways was very funny, half dead. Like, the way that he was like slumped against everybody, or like,
yeah,
he seemed to have a really, really good physical comedy with that. I thought it was very, very well done. This related note, him in the bed, it's like describing how he's going to maim the prince.
When all he can move is his arm.
Fucking move. Like, that's the only way I could ever win a fight, ever.
I'm just going to talk you to death.
Someone to death. Till they got close enough that I could just stab them in the heart.
I just have to fall on them. No.
A swimming accident.
I was like, sorry, I can't get up. Like, that's really...
And then Christopher Guest's voice was so lovely and beautiful, and he was so cruel. Everything he said was so mean. Oh my gosh.
Wait, was Christopher Guest the prince?
He was the six-fingered man.
Oh, the six-fingered man. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Huh.
Mm-hmm. He's great. If anyone doesn't understand what the objectification of women is, I would invite you to watch the scene where Princess Buttercup falls out of the window and how long it takes and how much of Princess Buttercup falling out of the window we see versus Wesley and Inigo falling out of the window. I'll tell you, she like jumps out of the window and you see her falling and you see her falling.
And she's like floating and she's
floating and then she lands. And poor Andre Rene Russinoff had back problems at the time. So he was like wearing a back brace to even be able to catch her.
You had to go look at his name. Like you have to go look at his name every time you want to say it.
It's a really long name. Trying, okay? And then Wesley and Inigo are like looking out the window, like blah, 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 blah. And one of them jumps and the other one jumps and cut. They all like right off. Okay, if you don't understand what the objectification of women is in film without having to deal with any titties at all, that is how you know what the objectification of women is. Bam, right there. That is it. That's all I had. I mean, the dialectic of the grandfather, grandson, modern, and the fairy tale is perfect. But you already told me you don't think it is. So.
And I don't think the fairy tale is perfect?
No, that the dialectic of the grandfather and the grandson.
I like it. I'm just saying, like, yeah. I don't know. I mean, I'm trying to imagine what the movie would be like without it.
I don't think it would be as funny.
Yeah, I think as a kid it confused me, though.
I think for kids it's great because he's basically like, oh, they're gonna kiss, like, ooh, I don't wanna, you know. And then later he's like, oh, they're gonna kiss. Are you okay? Which is so something I would do to Elliot.
Well, no, but like somebody asked him the other day if like there was something, and he was like, I didn't like it, and they asked him, was it because of the kissing? And he kind of looked at them like, I don't know what you're talking about. It's a great
Goodness, thing. Hopefully they're not doing that gendered bullshit.
Yeah, or like, yeah, I think it was someone that I like, which is probably another reason I was like,
Why are you talking about sexuality and my child?
Yeah. Like, he's hated kissing people since he was a baby. Like, he fucking hates getting kisses. Like, he'll give me kisses, but and that's kind of stopped even. But yeah, he does not like getting kisses. He wipes that shit right off, and he's been doing that for a long time. He kissed the shit
out of you last night because you were injured and he wasn't supposed to touch you because he's a little asshole.
That's what he does. Is like he does something shitty to me, and I get mad, and then he tries to kiss me, and I'm like, no.
Get your emotional blackmail out of here, you little shit.
Yeah, I was like, no. Yeah, well, we've been talking a lot about like. Don't believe, especially this one person in your life who really likes to lie to you, apparently. Because we got in a fight. That one way I wasted time was trying to fight with him. Because so there's a road sign right before the farm that has like, it's like a caution sign that has a farmer on a tractor.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're like, oh, it's Daddy. The other day he goes, Daddy put that sign up himself. I'm like, no, he didn't. Yes, he did. Grammy said he did. He put that sign there himself. And I was like, honey, and I like try, and he's like, no. Like, okay, fine, but whatever. And then
I need you to go back to Grammy, and I need you to get me the receipt.
Yeah. Can you show me the permit that he got from the city?
That's right. The city of Richmond. I need to see the receipt of the sign that he custom ordered.
Yeah. How much it cost, the tool and where the cement, ask him. I was like, did you ask Daddy? And he goes, no, Grammy told me, so I don't have to. It's true.
Oh, no.
I know.
She watches Fox News.
Yeah. Well, this was like the second or third time in a matter of days where I was like, you can't believe everything someone tells you. Like, you need to cross-check it, especially. Yeah. And then the other thing was, he said something about living forever. Or he asked me if I wanted to live forever, and I was like, oh, no.
Hell no.
No. And he said, I do. And I was like, oh, why do you want to live forever? And he goes, because Grammy's going to live forever.
Oh my God.
I was like, no, she's not. And like, yes,
Eva
she is.
lives a very long time. So
he was like,
and remember,
doctor,
she doesn't understand how feelings work. And she doesn't believe in reality. So it's entirely possible that she will live a really long time.
Oh, yeah, no, I know. But yeah, she told him her doctor said she was going to live forever.
I found my doctor on a commercial on Fox News. Hey, thanks everybody. Thanks for listening. This is a short one, but it's okay because it gives you more time to rewatch The Princess Bride. That's it for this episode.
And to ponder whether or not it is actually not a Christmas movie because it's
Shut
not.
the fuck up. Join us next week when we discuss Shelley Duvall's Fairytale Theater, which we're finding on the Internet Archive and nowhere else. So you can watch it on your phone. No reason not to. What made you laugh? What made you cringe? What did we forget? We forgot every single quote that's your favorite. I'm sorry. And what should we talk about in future episodes? We want to know your thoughts, unless they're about whether or not this movie is Christmas movie.
No, we want to know those thoughts. I want all those thoughts, unless you agree with Heather, and then you could keep them to yourself. Maybe I should have Grammy say that it's not a Christmas movie, and that'll make it true and law.
Put your microphone down.
No.
Find us on Instagram and Threads at I Love You But Pod, or email us at loveyoubutpod@gmail.com. Listener email and comments may turn up and have turned up in future episodes. Be sure to rate, review, and follow I Love You But wherever you get your podcasts. Thank you for listening. We're so appreciative. I'm Heather.
I'm Rian, and we wish you lots and lots of conditional love. The condition being that you agree this is not a Christmas movie.
I guess you don't love me anymore. What a sad way to announce it to the world. Podcast over.
Oh, no, we're going to keep doing the podcast. It'll be even funnier now. We don't like each other anymore.
It's going to get funnier.
People will be watching just to see if we make up.
They're going to watch our podcast.
Listen, shut up. It's like, Mom, I'm never watching your podcast. Well, no, you're not. It's true. We don't care nearly enough about making ourselves look nice enough to video this shit.
It's true. All right. Go enjoy your medications. I love you. I'm going to hang up so I can render.